Hi, boys and girls. Today we are going to continue working on our informational paragraph. Our learning target is I can draft my paragraph by using transition words. Yesterday we planned out our paragraph by using a graphic organizer. Today we will draft the sentences, the rest of the sentences of our paragraph. So we are still in the drafting stage of the writing process because we're now taking everything from our hamburger graphic organizer and we are drafting it out. And I'm going to show you what that looks like today. So our learning target says that we're going to be adding transition words, okay? Transition means going from one thing to the next. So adding transition words means when we add a word, going from the topic sentence to the first detail, to the middle details, and to the last detail, and finally to the concluding sentence. So this is my graphic organizer that I made yesterday. I'm going to take this and write it out. So let's start drafting. Of course, this is my blank drafting page. Okay, I'm gonna make this a little big. So of course, I start with the topic sentence, okay? But remember, I made a better topic sentence. I had practiced these four. I decided that I was gonna use the first one, the if then, because it was the one that I liked the most, that I thought was the one that made my paragraph sound like a third grader. So I'm going to go ahead and add that first into that's going to be my first sentence of my paragraph. If you have been in contact with someone that had COVID, then you might want to get tested because COVID spreads easily from person to person, okay? Just so we don't get confused, I'm going to keep that colored blue. Now I need my first detail. But remember, I need to add a transition word. I have first, for example, to start, to begin. So I can use any of those first ones. Actually, so I'm going to put, for example. That's going to be my transition word going from my topic sentence to the first detail. Now I have to always go back to my hamburger paragraph through contact with a person that has virus. So that's my first detail. But remember, I just wrote quickly there. So now I have to actually make it into a real sentence. So I'm going to say, for example, it spreads through contact with a person that has the virus. With a person that has the virus. Okay, that's my first detail. I didn't mean to make that bold. So if you want to make things bold, you go up here and you press the B button. It makes it dark. I want my transition word to be bold just so that we can see it at the end. And I'm going to highlight my first detail of my paragraph. I'm going to highlight it whatever color I want, red. I just want you guys to be able to see the different sentences. Now, I'm going to write my second detail. Touching an infected droplet that is on the surface, then touching your face. So that's another way it spreads. So I need another transition word. I have it. It's the middle detail. So I can use also, next, plus, in addition, second, third. I'm going to just go with also. So I'm just going to write also, comma. You always write a comma after a transition word. Also, it spreads, and I have to keep going back to this, by touching an infected droplet that is on the surface than touching your face. Also, it spreads by touching an infected droplet and then, is that what I said? Touching an infected droplet that is on the surface. That means like on a table or something, right? By touching an infected droplet that is on a surface and then touching your face. I'm going to put this not bold. I just want my transition word bold so you guys can see our learning target. So I'm going to color that one green just so you see that's my middle detail of my hamburger paragraph. So now I have to put the last detail, and let me just make sure that I have everything. I'm going to put a little check here. I have the topic sentence that I rewrote and made it sound really professional. I have my first detail. I have my second detail. Now I need my third detail. The infected person does not need to have symptoms of COVID-19. So I need my last detail right here, my transition word. Finally, last, or last but not least. I really like the way last but not least sounds, so I'm going to write that. Last but not least, and I'm going to make it bold. Last but not least, the infected person does not need to have symptoms of COVID. The infected person does not need to have symptoms of COVID-19. Okay? And then I'm going to color that one purple or another color. It doesn't really matter. I just want you guys, again, to see the different parts of the hamburger paragraph and how they come together to write it into an actual paragraph. Now I know I'm missing my concluding sentence. So I'm going to copy, paste. I have my third detail, and now I am going to put a check next to my concluding sentence because I'm going to write it. I put, these are the ways that COVID-19 is spread. So let's go back to my paragraph. And these are the transition words I can use for the concluding sentence. In conclusion, that sounds very third grade. To summarize, as you can see. So whichever one you want, I'm going to use to summarize, comma. These are the reasons. I'm going to change my sentence to make it better. These are the reasons, or these are the reasons why COVID-19 spreads easily, right? I already had that. I put, these are the ways that COVID-19 spread. Now, I just made it, when you're drafting, you can make it sound a little better. So I'm going to make my concluding sentence a different color. I will make it, let's see, what color haven't I used? I will make it orange. Okay, there you go. I just drafted my first paragraph. Now, a writer is never finished. So tomorrow, I will come and I will show you how I can revise this paragraph, how I can make it even better. How did adding transitions make our paragraph better? So how did adding transition words make our paragraph better? Here, these are the ones that I added. I didn't have them in my graphic organizer, right? But now that I'm drafting, I added, for example, also, last but not least, and to summarize. How did that make my hamburger paragraph sound better? You can pause this and share out or write it in the chats. If you're doing this assignment alone, you can go ahead and kind of whisper to yourself or share with someone in your house. Tell them what you're learning and how transition words make paragraphs better. Today you learn how to add transition words to our paragraphs. When you do your assignments on Otis today, you will be working on taking the information from your hamburger paragraph and drafting using transition words. Okay? Do you know what to do when you get on Otis? Show me fist to 5. You can put it in the chat. Put what number you feel you're at. Or show your hands to or show your video. If you're on video, show with show of your hands where you're at. If you're unsure what to do, you can watch the video again and pause it to make sure you understand. Ask a teacher to repeat directions or try it out on your own and wait for feedback from your teacher. Don't leave anything blank, boys and girls. It's better to write something than not write anything. Okay, good luck.